I got my first job at 10 years old, working at McDonald's. Yes, McDonald's.
Excited to have you, amazing viewer at Comfort for Life. Your continued support for my content is highly appreciated. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel. It is free of charge. Let's dive into this video without further ado. I have so much respect for people who come to share their personal life on the internet. And the reason why I'm saying this is because there was a video that triggered this girl to share her personal life. And that's the video that I want to stitch right here, just for context, before we get to listen to her story. It is a very interesting story to listen to. Stay tuned.
Black parents make their children pay bills when they still live at home because Black parents hold their children accountable for their failed lives.
I got my first job at 10 years old, working at McDonald's. Yes, McDonald's. My mother, who didn't give two craps about me, took my original birth certificate and changed the year of birth. And let me tell you how sloppy it was. But during my interview at McDonald's, they questioned that I was young. I looked young, but it didn't stop them from hiring me. And what's so funny is I actually enjoyed working at McDonald's. My mom took my check every week, and it literally didn't bother me. I was 10 years old, working at McDonald's, eating as much food as I wanted, having milkshakes every day with no complaints. When I tell you, I left school, went straight to McDonald's, and I would work until closing, about like 1 in the morning, every day. And it did not stop me from going to school. Even on the weekends I worked. So I got paid weekly. So by the time the week ended, I was roughly making between $300 to $400 a week. My mom took every single check. But again, I'm 10 years old. I didn't mind. I didn't care. I was working at McDonald's. But let me tell you the funniest thing about it. I went to school down the street. And I believe at 10 years old, that's elementary school. And let me tell you the funniest thing. The kids will come in to McDonald's with their parents, and they were like, "Oh my God, you have a twin. There's this girl in my class. She looks just like you." Now, I was unable or not allowed to tell anybody I went to school with that I worked at McDonald's. So no one actually really knew. In their minds, I just had a twin. And, but by the time, either way, I worked at McDonald's for a good 2 years before things went downhill and they actually found out how old I was. But as I got older, I worked other jobs. So I worked all the time because after I left McDonald's, I went right to Dunkin' Donuts. After Dunkin' Donuts, I went to a grocery store. But by the time I got to a certain age, I was like, I wanted my money. So my mother, who would take my check every week, this particular time, she just said, "Oh, I don't want your little check. You can have it." Oh, great. So when I got my first check from this job, I made $65. At that time, $65 is a lot of money. So I had a dance that Friday, and I had told my sister, "Hey, let's go downtown and go buy some matching outfits so we can wear to the dance." This is exactly what we did. We went on a shopping spree. We got matching shoes, a whole new outfit, and got her hair done for $65. I think I roughly had about $5 or $10 left, so it was roughly about $55. And when I got home, my mom had literally just got home, and she was like, "Where's your check?" I said, "I spent it. You told me I can have my check." She literally started cursing me out. She cursed me out because she wanted my check that she told me I could actually keep. Now, keeping in mind, I've been working since I was 10 years old. So by the time I graduated high school and I wanted to go to college, my mom had not one dime saved up for me. So I had to literally start over from scratch just to make a way for myself. So listening to this video said there's a lot of truth to it. But also, just for the positive side of it, it literally taught me a lot. It taught me by the time I became 18 years old that I could make it on my own. I could work a job. I can keep a job. I actually knew how to pay bills. So why stay in a place I wasn't happy with and just go on my own and make a way for myself, which I did. And the funniest thing about it, when I had my own apartment, this has to be a part two, but I allowed my mother to come live with me in my 2-bedroom apartment, and I gave her the master bedroom. Mother ended up living with me. I allowed it because at those times we were told that you pretty much honor thy mother, thy father. So you just did as you were told. So she lived with me. She made about $80,000 a year. I paid the bills. She didn't give me a dime. And this will be a whole nother story in regards to the nightmare I lived, allowing her to live under my roof, taking care of everything, while she literally just sat there and disrespected me.
One of the worst things I could have done in my years was to listen to people when they said, no matter what your mama do, no matter what she say, or no matter how she is, that's still your mama.
Mother's Day is around the corner, and I want to talk about why I don't like Mother's Day, and I only celebrate it for the reasons of my kids. I'm told when things bother me, I should just write it down, throw it away, store it, burn it. But because I am no writer, I just would rather just videotape it. Maybe post it, depending on how I feel. But if you're seeing it, I posted it. But 20 years ago, it feels like it was yesterday, on Mother's Day, I was robbed and set up by my mother and sister. My mom was married over 15 years to my stepfather. When she divorced him, she got her a townhouse. When she got her a townhouse, my sister was living there with her. My sister then moved her boyfriend in, who was a big-time drug dealer. At the same time was selling drugs at my mom's house and wasn't supposed to be, and lied to my mom. When my mom caught him, she no longer wanted to live there. But she chose to just leave everything in her name. So she called me. She asked me if she can live with me. It's my mom. What am I supposed to do? So I said, sure. She came to stay with me. She wanted the master bedroom. I gave it to her. And that was a nightmare from hell. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can. My eyes are a little red because people have to understand, even though I'm healed, I still have times where I cry because it still affects me. So I could tell people you have to be careful about what you talk about, how you talk about, unless you understand you're totally healed. You're still human, so you still can cry. You still have emotions. But this is just bringing up things that I really didn't want to kind of remember. But hey, sometimes it's best to talk about it, just to let it go. But either way, when you talk about jealousy, let me talk about my mom. A lot of people ask this question, so I'll answer it during this comment. Me and my mother no longer talk. I stopped talking to her about 4 years ago. I went on a spiritual journey. When I tell you your awakening, when you find it, it's crazy. When my mother was married to my stepfather, he was SAME for a long time, since I was 2 years old. My mother caught him in bed with me butt naked at 12. She came in my room, found him, took him out of bed with me, and brought him in her room. We never spoke about it. She didn't say nothing to me about it. I went through a lot of depression because I just kept saying my mother actually seen him in the room with me, but she didn't say anything. Didn't speak about it. We left it alone. So I go back to the 4 years when I finally decided to cut her off, because in this whole time, I literally been sending my mom money like every other week or every 2 weeks, because she'll contact me saying I need money. So I sent it to her. But I literally cut her off about 4 years ago. And the reason why I did, because something traumatic happened. And I asked her the question about the day she went in my room and took my stepfather out my bed. Did she know what was going on? She told me, She had told me she knew that he was doing what he's doing to me since I was 2 years old. She said it wasn't her fault that I liked older men. I responded back to her that I would never do that to my children. How could you let this happen to me? She was heartless. This is the person still sending her money. I've known for a long time she had jealousy. I mean, let me not say that. During my spiritual journey, I have learned that about past lives and jealousy and what kind of how we led our past lives. I had to go through a path where I had to go through a disconnection, that I didn't want to no longer go on this journey with these people. I wanted to disconnect, because we go on repeat journeys on these things until you can actually resolve them. We couldn't resolve it. I need to move on. My mother has done so many things to me. As much as I wanted her to be my mother, as much as I've done to try to make her proud of me, she never was. And what hurts the most, at 21 years old, I got pregnant with my daughter. I allowed this woman to help me raise her, not knowing she put the same trauma she put on me on my child. So it hurts because I've been on this journey for the last, I think, 4 to 6 years. But my oldest child went through a lot and she blames me. And all I can say to her is, I'm sorry. I didn't know. All I knew at that time is you were supposed to honor your mother and father. That was instilled in my head. So no matter what they did to you, you accepted it. God, I hate crying.
At this point, I'm short of words, but I feel like I can join my ancestors in saying that this is witchcraft. Now I understand why they were referring to things as witchcraft, because I really can't understand. Can you provide an explanation to what has just happened there on what you've just heard? Do you have an explanation for that? No, oh my gosh. No. This is not just African parenting, but it has some kind of darkness included in it. So really, I can see pure witchcraft in this, because if this was your mother, really, then there must be something that she was engaged into that you didn't know. I let me just call this witchcraft. I don't know how to explain witchcraft to you, but this looks like one. It looks like that. It's the highest of evil. Like, that's how I define witchcraft. I don't know what to think about this, but I'm really short of words. And this showing partialism when you're raising your children. Where did this come from? Where did this come from? Is it that some children you get them without pain, no effort, nothing? Like, why is this? Like, why parent watching this? I don't want to say African parents, because I have a mother who was strict, but she couldn't do such things to me. I feel like this is the highest level of wickedness, which is called witchcraft. Let me just conclude that video by saying that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that was it about this video. It's unfortunate, and I respect this creator for sharing her story. And if you really want to get in touch with her, I'm pinning her video in the description box. Her account is pinned down there. Find her out, reach her out. She's a writer as well, and I just can't understand this. Stay tuned for more videos. Yeah.